So Lego motors are kind of expensive, right? So I'm going to show you how to make one with garbage, kind of. This is a motor I took out of a toy. I dismantled the toy for some of the radio control bits inside. But anyway, it had some motors. And these are real easy to find. And you can even buy them online for like 50 cents or something, which is way cheaper than buying a Lego motor. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure my motor works. Just by hooking up. Okay, it spins. And I'll show you how to make a battery pack with a paper clip and some Lego later. Okay, the first thing to do here though is we have to make it so a gear can fit on the end of this thing. Otherwise we can only use a rubber band drive, which isn't nearly as cool as gear drive and doesn't work as well. There's a couple of ways you can do that. One is you can just whittle down the existing gear if there is one, and in this case I do have one here, until this fits on there. But my favorite way to do it is to attach one of these on there, and that way you can put whatever gear you want on there and take it off and put another gear on there if you want. So I'm going to see if I can get real lucky and cut the teeth off this gear, and maybe this will fit. If it doesn't, I can always just put some goopy glue in here and jam it right over the axle of the motor after, you know, pulling off this gear. But let me try that first. I'm just going to try taking the teeth off. And this plastic is pretty soft, so it's easy to do. No, don't ever do this if you don't know what you're doing. Or get your parents to do it if you're, you know, a young person. Well, that went pretty quick. I got the teeth off there. And I'm going to see if this fits. Whoa, it's real close to fitting. And I'm thinking if I run the motor for a minute and hold a file up to the side of it, it'll grind it down a little bit, just enough for this to fit on there, hopefully. Alligator clippy wire things, very useful for making temporary electrical connections. And this thing here has a file on it. Little bits, good, it's working. I was almost at the point where this was fitting, and I thought, wait, let me just check something. So I took my little gear here and slipped it on, and it fits perfectly, and it's snug. So I'm just going to go with that. So when you're building stuff like this, it's always good to kind of try things you're not sure if they're going to work. Sometimes they magically turn out perfectly. But if you don't have a gear, no problem. Just put some glue in here and jam it on the end and try to keep it lined up real straight. And then you'll be able to put your gear on there. There's lots of ways to do this. So next step. Take one of these, and one of these, and one of those, and one of these, and one of those, and take your motor and put it right there. Well, let's stick our gear on there just for show. And now, run around the house looking for a rubber band to go whoosh. Does anyone have a rubber band? I need a rubber band. I can't believe I actually found a rubber band. Anyway, line up your motor so the gear sticks out, you know, about that much. And then just take your rubber band and stick it around your motor and hold it in place. In this way you don't have to glue it down, so if you ever want to change the configuration, it's a piece of cake. And it also keeps the motor centered between two pieces, which lines it up perfectly to work with other Lego gears. So let's take one of these, stick it on the edge there. Oh, isn't that nice? Now I bet you're going to ask me what you can make with this. There's all kinds of stuff you can make with Lego. But having a super cheap, unlimited supply of motors really helps with making some more complex things. Sweet. Now for anyone who doesn't know, these little toy motors generally have two things sticking out the back that you attach your wires to. You've got a positive and a negative, hopefully coming from your batteries. And you connect them to your motor, and it spins. And if you reverse them, it spins the other direction. Not that you can tell on video, but trust me, it spins the other direction. Now I presume everyone can find a rubber band on their own. If you need some help finding a motor, just about any electronic device that moves around will have motors in it. Preferably don't take apart one that someone wants. You know, if there's broken toys all over the place all the time. You know, take those apart. Now, if you want to buy them, just look on the internet for surplus electronics. And if you find them for more than $1, you're paying too much. They're like 50 cents, $1. I mean, you can get them really cheap.